I am Dr. Pradeep Panigrahi from SLG Hospital. I am the senior consultant of GI, gastrointestinal and laparoscopy surgery, as well as the medical director of SLG Hospital. Today I will talk about gallstone disease and its facts. Around 10 to 15% of the populations suffer from gallstone disease. Maximum gallstone disease are diagnosed while doing testings and evaluations for either routine checkup or some other problems, by finding with ultrasound, by finding in the CT scan, or in the finding of MRI. But not all gallstone disease needs surgery or treatment. Today I will talk to you on what are the areas where we are concerned and we need to have treatment. Also, I'll talk about why we should need treatment for such gallstone diseases. We often come across many literatures, many videos, many things, and it's various opinions from different doctors. Some will say surgery, some may not say surgery required. So there's a big confusion in the mind of the people. Today I want to clarify those things from the people's mind, that where and why we require surgery. First, let me talk about gallstone. So gallstones are commonly seen in case of females. The risk factors we call is above 40 years. So there is a saying called fat, fertile female of 40 are more prone for gallstone disease. The fertility means the hormone levels plays a role. So gallstones are nothing but found by two methods or two theories. One is hypersaturation of bile, where there is excess secretion of cholesterol into the gallbladder. It doesn't impact whether the serum cholesterol is high or no. Doesn't matter with that. What matters is hypersecretion of cholesterol into the gallbladder will cause hypersaturation of bile, which can cause stones. Second hypothesis is infection hypothesis. When there is infection of the gallbladder or infection in the GI tract which goes to the gallbladder, will cause gallstones. So this is the two methods where gallstones are formed. This is what common man will not able to know. So I thought it's better to perceive and tell it to the masses. Then, as we said, females. Why the females? The estrogen hormones, it causes hypersecretion of, again same as I said, cholesterol into the gallbladder. So there is hypersaturation of bile. Progesterone on the other hand causes slow movement of the gallbladder. So hypomotility. Hypomotility means there will be more time the bile has to spend in the gallbladder. That is where it leads to stone formations. And all primary stones are formed in the gallbladder, not in the bile duct. Bile duct primary stone formation is very, very rare. Again, the question comes in the mind, what are the type of gallstones? Gallstones are of actually two types we call it. One is a cholesterol stones, another is a pigment stone. Cholesterol stone is nothing but hypersaturation of cholesterol in the bile, not in the blood. Next comes is the pigment stone. Pigment stones are formed from breakage of own blood cells, which causes pigments, heme pigments, and that causes stones. There are two types of pigment stone, black and brown. So it doesn't matter which is predominant. And here I will say not all stones are gemstones, so that we have to preserve it. When we have gallstones and we have symptoms, we have to get rid of it. Symptoms of gallstones, what patient usually present. The commonest presentations what a patient will have is bloating sensations. That means when you take food, immediately after meals, particularly after fatty meals, you will have bloating of the stomachs, full of bloating. You will not have any hunger anymore. Early satiety, early fullness. These are signs of gallstones diseases. Commonly we call it as a gastric, and we go to the RMP or over the counter medicines and take it and say it's done. But that is momentary relief. Second most common one is there will be excessive belching. You will get lot of belching post meals, particularly after fatty meals. Third one is the pain. Pain usually comes in the epigastric region, that is near the stomach, what we call upper part of the abdomen, and it goes behind on the right side. Sometimes it goes to the shoulder also, sometimes it goes to the arm also. So people confuse with a cardiac pain, but it can be a gallstone pain. So these are the indications where we have to go for surgery. Beside that, asymptomatic stones. Asymptomatic stones means when we have no symptoms. So such stones, many times we have a policy called wait and watch. We ask the patient to go back, and when you have symptoms, come back. But there are few indications where we will suggest even asymptomatic stones to go for surgery. The reason is asymptomatic stones can lead to complications. So what are the complications which can come from gallstone? Number one is acute cholecystitis, means infection of the gallbladder because there is a stone. Chronic cholecystitis means there is recurrent infections over a period of time again and again, but we tolerate it as if it is a acid peptic disease or gas. We call it as a common man gas problem, and we take some medicines and forget it. So that is the second one. Third one is it can cause biliary colic. That means when the bile or bile stone or the sludge or the stone slips down, while slipping down into the common bile duct, is try to push it down by cramps, and that is called biliary colic. So recurrent biliary colic is the indications we should go for surgery, and then it can cause pancreatitis, which is very life threatening at times. Also, it has got chance of causing empyema. Empyema means pus inside the gallbladder, because it is blocking the gallbladder outflow, that is flow of bile from the gallbladder. So the collected bile inside the gallbladder get infected and cause pus inside the gallbladder. We call it as empyema. These are life threatening cases. So such scenario we need to be careful, and these are the complications where we need to undergo surgery. Diabetic patients particularly are prone for infections. So such cases we advise for gallstone surgeries or gallbladder surgeries so that they don't develop the complications. Kidney failure patients, they are prone for infection very fast. So once diagnosed to have a gallstone, we suggest them to undergo the earliest symptoms for surgery. Pregnancy in other cases is a very controversial area. Early pregnancy is not very ideal, because there what's happened is chance of effect on the fetus is there. So mid cycle is the best time. If suppose gallstone disease is there, so that the pregnancy later part is not complicated, we suggest for a surgery if there are early symptoms. And gallstone surgery has become very easy now. The question comes here, can the stone be removed only and not the gallbladder at all together? No, it is not feasible. The reason is lot of attempts were done by lithotripter methods and other methods to remove the gallstones, like the way we do for kidney stones. Kidney stones, the problem is the pathology is with the hypersaturation of urine or infection in the urine. So calcium stones and oxalate stones are formed. Whereas in gallbladder, it is the infected gallbladder which leads to stone formations. So it is the gallbladder which is getting infected. So we have to remove the entire gallbladder. So surgery is not very difficult. It just nowadays with the advancement of techniques like laparoscopy surgery, robotic assisted laparoscopy surgery, robotic surgeries. So we do with many holes, small holes. The holes are of size of 5 millimeter. The maximum hole size is 1 centimeter. So 3 to 4 holes we make. Through that we put our laparoscopes and operate the gallbladder. The surgery can last from half an hour, and in complicated cases it may go up to 1.5 to 2 hours. And with the advancement of skills of the surgeon, and the more and more the surgeon operates, the more skilled the surgeon becomes. So even the complicated gallbladder can be done easily and handled well. Earlier the conversion rate from laparoscopy to open was very high because the surgical skill was lacking. But now at advanced center and centers which handle a lot of cases, like our center, we handle plenty of cases on month to month basis. That scenario, even the difficult to difficult gallbladders are also operated through laparoscopy. But here I will highlight one more thing. not all gallstones can be operated through laparoscopy. There are few instances where we may have to open and operate, that is to protect the patient's body parts like intestines, the masses. When the biliary canal injury is high, when the bile duct injury is high, the anatomy is so distorted, that scenario it is safer to open this and operate it rather than doing a laparoscopy method. So, at the end of it, the question again will come, if you remove a part of the body like a gallbladder, so what is the issue will come? Will the patient suffer for life? My answer here is no. Only for first few days or maybe a month, the body takes time to adapt. The bile is manufactured in the liver, transported through the bile duct into the intestine for the digestion. That will continue. So, there won't be any symptoms of indigestion for the patient is concerned. There are small symptoms which we call post-cholesterol syndrome, but that can be handled with medications and lifestyle modifications. So, gallstone surgery or removal of gallbladder will not cripple your life. It will not cause any complications to you. You will have very comfortable life. Feel free, feel safe. Remove the gallbladder when symptomatic at the earliest through laparoscopy method at any center of expertise. So please do not hesitate. Don't keep your gallstone pain and symptomatic gallstone disease within you, because once complicated, that becomes very tough for the surgeon, for the patient, for the procedure. And instead of saving a small amount, you invest a lot of amount, including your risk to life. So please do not hesitate. Come forward at the earliest. Thank you.